Walking Dead is back with Season 7, Episode 1 premiere. The day will come when you won't be, which is how I assume it's supposed to be said. This is Tim Frisch. I am Kim Horcher. Francis is sick, though I suppose you can wait for him in the future. So this, needless to say, this review will contain many spoilers. So if you're not cool with that...
Major spoilers.
Anyway.
If you don't want to know who got turned into brain sauerkraut, then I highly recommend turning it off now.
I would say more like picadillo, but okay.
Sure.
So we started this season not exactly on the footing that we wanted to at the end of Season 6, which really toyed with our emotions. For the whole summer, basically, if you followed the marketing campaign. And about 15 to 20 minutes in was when we saw the result of who got the blunt end, or maybe the sharp end of
Honestly,
Lucille.
Sooner than I thought we were going to. I thought they were going to hold it for the very last minute of the episode, and it was all going to be Rick being tortured about it being, you know, remembering who they all are and were, and we don't find out who dies. But they gave it to us.
The way that the shot was framed, there's one person who was kind of standing out, and I was like, it's him. And it 100% was Abraham right away. He did have a last word, which was, suck my nuts?
Suck my nuts.
Suck my nuts. Boom, dead. And then that death didn't seem to mean much because very soon late after was the big death, the one that we were, you know, all holding our breath for, which was Glenn, who did take the bat in the comic and did have that disgusting eye pop.
Yeah,
like in the comic.
Gross. Did you expect a second one? In the moment,
you know what?
He gave it to Abraham, and then that was that.
Yeah,
and
because
like,
Abraham is like a safe middle character.
Yeah.
He's not a character like Rick who's too important, and he's not a character who like Aaron, what's his name, who's like
who
not
doesn't
important
matter
enough.
at all.
And I always thought there would be 2, maybe 3,
Oh,
but I thought they would space them. So the immediacy, the suddenness of what happened to Glenn really surprised me. Because I thought they would wait.
Yeah. I felt as though they would blame Daryl more because it was Daryl's outburst
fault.
that caused Glen''s death. I think. That's how I read it.
I saw in my feed at least people going, it's Daryl's redneck ass who got Glenn killed. Rah. I'm starting to be very convinced the show will never kill Daryl.
Yeah, they might chop him up into little pieces and leave him on the doorstep.
They won't.
Yeah,
Maybe a pinky, the end of the pinky, but they're going to leave him intact unless Norman Reedus really goes, I am done with this show, I want out.
Or they get a bigger budget, because that's famously why Rick doesn't have a hand missing, and probably why Carl doesn't have an arm missing, is because it's expensive to CGI out an arm for every single episode. So
well, yeah,
probably not a lot of dismemberment.
Let's get to that right away, which is they kept teasing at this. The governor never did it, and which is the governor in the comics at least chopped off Rick's hand, and then we have a stump around. So they brought back that little
idea,
tease, that little tidbit, that possibility that could happen. You know, I think early on in the episode, before we got to the Carl part, they were teasing about the axe and whatever, and when he was going on the RV road trip with Negan, which I don't know if I really liked the efficacy of.
I got what they were doing, like the mental and physical abuse of Rick to break him down. It read very Ramsay Snow and Reek to me, like all the hoops that he made him jump through just to like fully break his spirit, make him like a trained dog.
I know, but is that effective to the audience? Because
it read very slow.
It was ploddingly slow, and it was just. I'm getting to the point where I feel like, and this took the summer of being teased and the Season 6 finale, where I think the show is more about jerking us around, swerving us around, more so than giving us an actual payoff or an actual development.
I feel the show is like breaking us down and like wearing on my soul,
I mean, when I saw
Rick's.
that headline that said the show isn't fun anymore, the show's a bummer now, I was like, I get it. I get it 100%.
It's draining, yeah. Here's an interesting thing that I think could have really helped. Imagine, take our super slow and super dramatic finale from last season and our super slow premiere from this season, cut out the fat, smash them together, and now leave us at the end of this winter, where The Walking Dead, with the whole group sitting on the ground having just, you know, the Glenn and Abraham being murdered.
You know,
don't you think that would be an effective finale?
I wish they had at least put one of the deaths in the finale.
And then saved another
like
death for
save
premiere?
Abraham there, save Glenn for here. Because then also, you know, as soon as Glenn is down, obviously that's what we're upset about. No one cares about Abraham anymore. He's kind of like a red herring, and not just because of his red hair, but it's just like, it's not, yeah, it's pretty cute, right? But it's just, I want that weight to be there, because we've had episodes before where a character of about Abraham's importance died, and that was the whole central point. I mean, immediately after that, I didn't care. I was all about Glenn. I was all about, you know, a sobbing Maggie on the ground, freaking out. That's all I cared about.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about half measures that the show takes last season and the season before and the season before. And them respecting in ways plot armor, which I'm not crazy about. There was those scenes, I guess it was Rick taking Negan's words to heart, like, remember what happened, imagine what could have happened, and think about what's going to happen next. Because we see most of the main characters get beamed with Lucille.
I have a theory about that.
Oh, interesting.
My theory is they only shot that so that it would stop leaks.
Right.
So that it doesn't really serve a plot
So
point.
if one got
serves
leaked, they
like
could leak a bunch of
a
others.
meta point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yes, that's the creators of the show kind of tipping their hat to the fervor that was created in between seasons about us being angry about not finding out and having to wait to find out. But I almost wanted that to happen. Wouldn't it be so cool if every character
killed.
there was killed and only Rick was left standing?
That would be a very Game of Thrones
Oh
move.
my God, that would be so, that would make for such an interesting whole entire season for Carl to be dead and Michonne to be dead. And
okay, here. They're never
So
going to
cool.
kill Rick, Michonne, or Daryl.
which means
They're going to, all three of
the
those people are
stakes
going
are
to live.
still so low. And like, yes, Glenn was a major character that's been around for 7 seasons, but he was always supposed to die in this scene. And I know that non-comic readers don't know that, but everybody knew it.
All through season 6, oh no, is Glenn dead under the dumpster? Oh, okay. Oh no, is he dead now?
I think
oh,
Glenn
no.
might actually still be
They just pulled
alive.
us back and forth. Yeah, yeah, maybe this was all a dream.
Yeah,
like
his head is still fine there under the mess.
It's that end, okay, I know the show is about toying with our emotions, but that last shot with the table sitting all around for dinner, it really, like, I was tearing up. It made me really sad.
This show can still do some things right.
Yeah.
Negan is good.
He's bad, but he's good at being bad.
It's a good character, and it's a good character, and he had a really good monologue in the last in the season finale.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan's a great actor.
He's really
doing
good
a
at
great
this
job with
menace.
what he's been given. Yes.
It's a good character, and I hope they can explore it fully. This episode was so slow and so methodical. And it's like, so I usually don't watch shows with commercials, but there were so many commercial breaks that I was just like,
watched it online.
Oh, you're killing me, AMC. Like,
Okay.
nothing happened between commercials.
Just watch it on AMC.com.
I did. That's where the commercials
Really?
were.
I
Yeah.
hadn't. Oh, maybe
Because
one
I
of us
wasn't
has-
signed in. I didn't
I
have
was
like a
signed
cable
in.
account, so it was the free episode. So obviously there's ads.
My friends.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cord cutters make it finding a way.
I didn't pirate it. So, yeah, my conclusion for this is it's a lot more of the same, I guess, in terms of emotional jerking around rather than actual delivery and payoff of, meaningful storylines, I would say. That said, it was effective. I was very moved by that scene because, I had never considered that before, but I'm not even a man, and that's a great fear of mine. That last one where he's just holding his son, and it's just like, oh, this is never going to happen.
Yeah.
This happiness is not real, and we'll never have it. That's just that level of hopelessness and dread that sets in. They did a good job with that. Is that necessarily what we need, or what the audience wants to feel? I don't know.
Every episode of The Walking Dead, I'm waiting for it to be my last episode. The one where I say, I really can't take this anymore. I'm out. I'm done. This wasn't that episode. They do just enough things right for me to say, all right, well, we'll see where they're going with this.
So there's going to be a day where both you and I are just like, we're done.
This is not
and we're
worth
going
it
to
anymore.
metaphorically bash our heads in with bats and leave the show.
Or literally, maybe. There's no way to know.
No, there's still other good shows, like Westworld. Anyway, overall, it's all right. I guess it's
a
slow.
fine premiere.
It's
It was
ploddingly
fine.
slow.
Some
there
people in
is
the comments
payoff.
will be like, "Why are you jerks still watching the show? It's so bad. It's the worst thing on television."
You look, blindly praising a show is not considered being a fan or a critic. You have to hold it up to a high level of quality that at least at one time was shown in the show. But it doesn't make sense for you to just blindly love every single choice made without any kind of reason or point. That the point of criticism is not to be, a bummer, a letdown, an asshole for no reason. There is a reason, and the reason is that this show does mean something, it is important, it has a point, and it should actually touch upon the parts of it that do make it great or have made it great. I don't think I need to expel the reasons of criticism anymore.
I don't think so either.
All right, everyone,
we
we'll
did a
be
good job.
back next week for episode 2, the name of which I don't know yet.
I don't know, but I think we're going to see a tiger.
know that.